It's time for the Big Bad. Here are your wandering DMs, Paul and Dan.
Hi everyone, welcome to the Big Bad, where each week we invite a different group to face off against us in an action-packed game of Dungeons & Dragons. They've got just a few hours to stop an evil plot, score the most points on the leaderboard, and see if they can take down the Big Bad. Today's game is brought to you by Dwarven Forge, makers of fine gaming terrain. Visit them at dwarvenforge.com to learn how to bring your games to life using their amazing modular terrain pieces. I'm Paul Siegel, I'll be your referee today, and I will do the best I can to make fair rulings for everyone in the game. And with me as always is our dedicated adversary DM, the Big Bad himself, Dan Collins. Dan, who are you playing today?
Yes, I'm playing Sigilius the Vermicular, the nefarious leader of the Cult of Worms. My loyal cultists have captured the foolish adventurer Eric the Brash, and are even now preparing to sacrifice him to the great crawling one deep underground. Any attempt at rescuing him in these last moments is surely doomed to failure.
Watch out, players. Dan hates to lose. All right, let's meet our players. Joining us today as our brave adventurers are the members of WebDM, led by Jonathan Pruitt. Welcome, Jonathan.
Why, hello there, Paul. And I just want to let everybody know that we at WebDM are not scared of BBEG's big bad evil plans. So you can check out WebDM every Wednesday for our weekly show in which we dive deep into some subject of RPG nature or something. And if that's not enough, you can hit us over on Patreon, where we have another podcast every week. And also we have another channel called WebDM Plays, where you can check out all of our actual plays, which there are many. Back to you, Paul.
Thanks so much, Pruitt. Really, really great to hear that. And thank you so much for joining us today. So who are you playing today, Pruitt?
Today I will be playing the half-orc monk, Hadrad Hellfist. He's the kind of guy who punches first and asks questions later, if he even remembers to ask questions, because, well, no, his charisma is his lowest. Never mind. He'll ask questions later. They just won't be very pretty.
What brought you to choosing Hadrad?
Well, being someone who used to take Taekwondo and teach it, the monk has always been near and dear to my heart. It is actually my cat's name. So, you know, some people are bound by their fates and some are not. So here we are,
Awesome.
Playing the monk.
Well, looking forward to hearing some great descriptions of monk moves from Hadrad then.
I'm also looking forward to Hadrad being used in the episode today so that I can teach you to fear the power of the Big Bad. So I'll be looking carefully at Hadrad. So thank you for pointing him out.
I killed my mother on the way out of birth, so I am not afraid.
Well, there's good aspects to everyone. I'll grant you that.
Oh, no.
I have 8 charisma.
Some recruiting going on here from the Cult of Worm, it sounds like. Pruitt, how will Hadrad demand Eric repay him when he saves his sorry butt?
Oh, how will he repay him? Well, Hadrad has a studio that he's been wanting to open up to teach all the little half orcs, and it's going to need to be painted. It's going to need to be sanded. We're going to need a whole overhaul, and that's not monk work. He doesn't go to the Miyagi-Do school of teaching, so he needs somebody to do that for free. So hey, why not have a good life debt to pay off?
Hopefully Eric is handy with a paintbrush.
Paint the fence.
Joining us as well is Emma Lambert. Emma, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
Who are you playing today, Emma?
I'm playing Kayam the Vanquisher, the human barbarian.
Excellent.
Yes.
What brought you to that choice?
I dithered a lot, and then I picked at the last minute because I get to rage out and be angry, and that sounded like fun.
Exercising some demons today on the Big Bad.
Always, yes.
So Eric once helped you out of a jam. What was that?
I was unfairly and unjustly imprisoned for excessive carousing fairly recently. And he paid my bail, and he repaid like the various farmers and good people of the entire village that I destroyed without remembering it. And it was a real solid. I appreciated it.
Sounds like Kayam and Eric are old drinking buddies then.
There you go. Something like he's more of a spotter, but yes.
A spotter.
I appreciate hearing that very little thought and preparation was put into this episode. So I'm feeling really good about this episode. Thank you for telling me about your lack of preparation, Kai.
It was actually an excess of preparation which led me to freeze and overthink all of my choices. So I actually went with the one that I thought was the best in my soul.
Analysis paralysis is one of my favorite mechanisms for tricking players on the show. So already I feel like my work is halfway done.
I've been too honest.
We should just
Oh, no.
we should declare the episode over and that I have won. But, that makes sense. You can concede at any time. To be clear, players, you can concede at any time. So if you feel like that's appropriate now, go ahead. I'm not stopping you.
We also have with us today Jim Davis. Welcome, Jim.
Certainly. Thank you, Paul.
Jim, who are you playing today?
I am playing Phalar the Fearless, an elven war cleric who is without fear, apparently. So I don't fear this Sigilius. I don't know his name. Siagrius? I don't know. I've never heard of the Cult of the Worm.
Everyone's heard the Cult of the Worm, God.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not that great with religion, so maybe I wasn't paying attention.
I think it's an
my class.
Great.
Yeah.
So what? Why did you choose the cleric?
I chose the cleric because of the combination of spells, armor class, and general just funness. I've also don't really play a lot of clerics, so I figured I'd play a class I don't know that well in a competitive D&D game.
What other terrible things have you heard the worm cult is responsible for?
Oh God! Well, I mean, like some rumors about the worm cult that have come across his desk. That they're all kinds of weird. They don't like millet or wheat. That they're always ruining the harvest. You can't keep a garden around them or anything. Sinkholes usually show up. Just kind of nuisances, I suppose. Yeah.
Sounds
Don't forget the
very
nail
irritating.
clippings. They leave their nail clippings everywhere.
They do believe it. Thank you.
Terrible roommates. Yeah.
God, thank you.
Inconsiderate roommates. Yeah.
Oof, yeah.
Kidnappers, worshippers of evil gods, and terrible roommates.
Oh yes, yeah, definitely.
It's serious.
Finally, we also have with us Rudy Basso. Welcome, Rudy.
Hi, happy to be here.
Rudy, who are you playing?
I'm playing Turpin Bravebow, the Halfling Ranger.
Excellent. And why did you choose Turpin?
He seems very good at murdering, and I figured that would be important in this competitive D&D game. And he hates bullies. So guess what, Daniel? He hates you. You're a bully.
I'm a bully.
So, Rudy, tell us, what other character in the party owes Turpin one?
Oh, who owes Turpin one? Yes, in their names. Of course, I remember them all. Emma's character, the Barbarian, whose name is...
Kayam the Vanquisher.
Vanquisher.
Kayam the Vanquisher. Going to write that down. Kayam played a rather cruel prank on Turpin Bravebow. One time he was entering the inn and a cup of ale spilled on his head. The classic cup of ale on top of the door prank. And so I owe you one, but not the kind of friendly owe you.
Interesting.
The kind of return prank owe you. That will happen maybe during the game. Self-sabotage our team. You chose me, people. Here we go.
It's what his character would do.
It's what your character would do.
Great. Let's get started then. To begin with, let's look at what you're facing. Roll the clip. You have entered into a massive cavern deep underground. The entirety of the cavern is dimly lit by a few torches and several large, low-burning braziers. The cavern is bisected by a narrow but deep and fast-moving river, banked by slick-looking rocks. The approach from the entrance in the northwest corner is flanked by massive stalagmites, offering some cover from the eastern half of the cavern. Here, the west-leading branch of the river moves more sluggishly, swirling around a natural grate formed of low-hanging stalactites. Across the river, a twisted stair has been cut into a pillar of rock, leading up to a rope bridge that crosses high in the air. To the east of the entrance, another gap in the stalagmites offers a different approach, leading to the crashing falls that are the source of the underground river. Across the river is a large, flat, open area where strangely colored fungi grow to enormous proportion from mounds of what appears to be churned up earth. Finally, in the southeastern corner, a rocky tor rises slowly up. Chanting can be heard from the cultists arranged along the natural steps, leading ever upward to a flat platform where the cult leader stands behind a dark altar. On the platform before the altar lies the prone form of your friend Eric. What vile ritual or dark dealings do the cultists have in store for him? You must reach the pinnacle and stop the ritual before it's too late.
And the big bad must give all due exaltation to our generous sponsors at Dwarven Forge, who provide the perfect setting for our players' certain doom. You should visit dwarvenforge.com today and assemble a similar shocking demise for your players as well.
I'll just give you a quick second overview here from the videos. You can see you've entered this giant open cavern. You are in this northwest corner right up here. There are your characters. You'll notice there is a north marker down here, so when we are in the overhead, you can orient based on the compass point. As we move the cameras around or get different angles, possibly the compass points will be easier to describe than other direction markers. So, please begin your strategizing.
Alright. Which approach you guys want to take?
I have a potion of climbing. So my brain says bridge, of course. Bridge seems simpler. But also my gut says don't trust the bridge.
The bridge is kind of a choke point. We'd probably we could easily get bottlenecked there.
I also have gloves of climbing and swimming, so I'm really good at both of them.
Ooh. Hey, there you go. I wish we had the numbers to split and attack 2 ways, but I don't think that's a good idea.
That sounds like a terrible idea.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. That's why I was saying I don't think we should do it.
We don't have a ton of ranged, so if you kind of
Close to
feels like
melee.
we're going to have to,
Got-
if we go that
we've
way,
got
we'll have to storm the bridge.
What made it a little difficult to see in this view here is that there are steps cutting around the outer edge of this pillar that lead up around.
Tiny hand.
Up to the top
Love
of the
that.
bridge.
It looks like the bridge is 5 feet wide.
Is
that accurate? Okay.
Okay.
That is correct.
Getting my tiny hands, so I'm
Getting your tiny hand right. Very good. Very good. Yeah, and then crossing closer to the waterfall, that's a swifter current there.
I don't like those fungal growths, though.
I agree on the fungal growths.
The river
It can barely
appears to
be a
move
growth experience
pretty
if you're right.
swift throughout. The one place where this changes is in the western branch as it comes across here in front of the bridge. You can see that there are these stalactites kind of hanging down into the water, and the water swirls around here as if this was a natural grate, just sort of the water is pressing against it. Do note that the southern branch of the river at the very end of the board gets sucked down into an underground passageway for who knows how long.
all right.
It is a
Falling
more
off the
narrow,
bridge now seems much more frightening as well.
Yes.
for real.
But pushing enemies off the bridge seems much more appealing as well.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of movement, I think we're better than most because I'm at the very least I've got some skill and I'm a little bit faster of a mover. The only
same here.
real issue is Phalar the Fearless, but you are fearless.
That's fine. I don't mind bringing up. I still got 30 feet. Got good
So
AC.
I actually only have 25 because I'm a halfling. I'm a little guy.
Got those.
Oh,
got
you're a
those
little
little
guy.
legs. I'm unencumbered, so we could easily do a piggyback ride situation with Turpin if we need to.
I like
Oh
that.
heavens.
I feel like bridge. Maybe bridge might be the way to go, but also
Yeah.
maybe not. Those fungal growths are the thing that are really turning me off, and
Yeah.
the possibility of tripping into the running water or falling into the water and then getting washed away from everyone else would also be pretty bad, I feel like.
Yes.
Maybe an element of stealth moving towards the bridge to at least get us closer to it might.
So I'm pretty good at stealth.
No good at that. Oh,
Yeah.
I'm meh at it.
+7.
Okay.
So
Is it just me and Hadrad, Phalor and Hadrad that have dark vision? Because I don't think human and halfling.
yeah, no, I do not.
Okay, so getting in a position where you guys have some bright light, if you so you're not dealing with all that,
Yes.
would be good. Okay,
Personally, I'm not intimidated by mushrooms.
you're not.
all right.
As
You didn't have
Matt-
to say it that way. Okay.
just real
We're
quick
all
in
here.
regards to
Both
the
as
light.
my character and as my person. I'm not intimidated by mushrooms.
Since I heard you
You know-
discussing the light, I just want to jump in here and give you a little more information about that. So
Yeah.
there are these low-burning braziers and torches throughout the entire underground cave, which cast dim light. So the entire area should be
Okay.
considered dimly lit,
okay.
which does mean disadvantage to perception checks to those who don't have dark vision.
Sure.
Ah.
Yeah. All right. The other thing I was thinking of is that Turpin, Phalor, and Kaim cross near the fungi, and then Hadrad, you would be able to get over to that bridge a little quicker than the rest of us, maybe even stealth over, so that we have an ace in the hole, as it were. But who knows what enemies lurk behind those stalagmites?
Yes.
That is true. I am.
Should we
I
put
am
it to
also.
a vote?
Well, I don't think we should split up.
Splitting up.
I
so
don't
you
think we
guys
should
don't-
split either.
Serious.
No.
All right.
I vote we don't split.
Okay.
So
All right. That's
Okay.
fine. I don't mind. All right.
I vote mushrooms.
Mushrooms.
So much.
Mushrooms for
I
level.
vote bridge. What if I climbed up the below the bridge and then threw down a rope to you all, and then you could climb up the rope to skip the bridge entirely? So we go on the ground level. We'll have to go across the scary water part where it might pull us down into the unknown. Also very frightening, but it might be a
we'd
more
have to-
indirect route than going over the bridge. So
That bridge connects to the Tor, so you're talking about throwing a rope down the Tor.
exactly.
Okay. We might have to
And then
climb
getting
that
to
rope
Aaron
under fire.
quickly. Yeah, that's my only. Yeah, that would be bad.
Mm.
And if I'm up there alone, that
Yeah.
also would be bad, because if someone gets in
That would
close to
be
me, I'm
bad.
in big trouble. All right.
Yeah. So if we did the bridge, Kareem or Kaim, would
Yes.
you lead? You'd lead?
I can. Kaim is approaching the point as a impulsive character that we're going to find horrible things no matter which way we go, and
Certainly.
I am
Yeah.
brave enough to face them.
Okay, certainly. I'm fearless, so I'm beginning to see the logic behind it. What is Hadrad's jump distance?
I mean, Hadrad, he can jump all right. I mean,
So
technically,
you
if I
could
get a running
essentially-
start, I can make it over the stream.
I was thinking more like if we get bottlenecked on the bridge, being able to.
Oh, we get bottlenecked on the bridge. I could possibly jump over the bridge too. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I mean, you could have my potion of climbing too, so you could go up and drop down the rope. I mean, there's no reason why
I mean,
I
already-
have the potion.
I already climb at my normal move speed because of my gloves. So
Gloves.
I both
Oh,
climb
right,
and
that's
swim at my move speed, and I have a +5 to my athletics for those. So
Yeah.
no, I'm good on climbing. So
Do you have a ranged weapon?
and he pulls up like 10 darts, one in between each finger. You mean these? And then he just like
Very
puts
good.
them away.
Yeah. I'm guessing hey, you've got like what, axes, javelins, something like that.
I have both of those things, of
Sweet.
course.
All right. So I think like between Turpin, I've got a couple of ranged spells that are pretty good. So if we needed to engage in a ranged battle as we cross the rope bridge, we could. But yeah, I think if
my,
we-
my other ranged weapon also isn't provided yet because they haven't started shooting at us. So
Nice.
certainly.
I can
right.
provide some
Yeah,
cover
monk.
in that regard. Yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm best in a support role. I've got a lot of abilities to let you guys hit more often. A lot of support type spells. I would prefer to use my concentration for either Divine Favor or Crusader's. Actually, Crusader's Mantle is pretty good for that. And if we need some bright light, I can bust out a daylight to the light.
Well,
see.
if anything, if we're going to go bridge, then I would vote that we try either a measure of stealth or speed to get there and then get across as quickly as possible and at least
I have
hold
neither.
the other side.
I have
If
neither.
they do bunch up, that's okay with me though, because I actually have a horde breaker. So if people are standing next to each other, I get a second attack on the person standing
that's
adjacent.
true.
So I can really
There you go.
put some fire on them if they're all standing close to each other.
All right, so it sounds like we're thinking the bridge. Go up the bridge, get as far as we can stealthily, bum rush the bridge with Hadrad and Kaim as our spear tip.
Yeah.
And that's, planning any more than that is, I think, fruitless.
Great. At the moment,
much for a plan as-
standing here in the entrance with the cover of the stalagmites and the sound of the falls, you don't believe you've been detected yet, and you can hear the cultists chanting. What would you like to do?
Vestibulum nec elit ad antor consecutor tempor.
What kind of language is that?
It's called glossolalia. It is
Inheritance.
I speak Phalor speaks Celestial, Common, Draconic, Elvish, and Gnomish. Is it any of those? I doubt it, but I'm just curious.
Dan, is the language that your cultists are chanting any of those languages?
That is an excellent question. It is not any of those languages.
Very good.
what about
Anybody else
infernal or orcish?
Good call.
I speak Minotaur.
It is not infernal or orcish.
Excellent.
What about goblin, halfling, or undercommon?
Man, we got a good spread on languages.
Yeah.
Dude.
It seems like it might be related to undercommon, but it's a dialect that you do not understand.
Nice.
Sounds like
I-
undercommon, but a dialect I do not understand. I inform my
Curious
party.
if we could tell how far along in the ritual they were by the incantations. But
Yeah, no indication yet.
I have a suggestion. I have a disguise kit. I could try attempt to disguise the less stealthy of us as cultists, and if anybody catches us, we'll be like, we're just bringing these bastards in to be sacrificed next.
Yeah,
There we go.
sacrifice.
okay, who's got the
Yep,
best?
they asked us to take the
deception?
trash out in the apartment, and so now we're going to sacrifice them because we're bad roommates.
Who's got the? I'm terrible at deception. Looks like a dry. I don't think we're a very finesse
No.
talk our way through
No.
it kind of group.
What killers? Not
I have
talkers.
a disguise kit, but I'm not skilled at deception in any way.
It sounds like we got a plan though. So
Okay.
Adrad and Kaim, don't run too far ahead of us because we're not as fast as you. We're going to make our way over to the bottom of the rope bridge, scale it, then begin our attack.
Excellent. Is
Okay.
the entire party moving to the south, or just an individual or subset of you?
The entire party is,
everyone.
but it's being led by Felar, Cam and Hadrad.
Yeah,
Excellent.
yeah.
Okay.
Me and you, Pruitt.
So why don't I just start then by moving Hadrad and Kaim down to some cover
Yes.
here amongst the...
As we start the conversation with my opening statement and my closing argument.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
What's everybody's stealths?
At this point, I will ask for that stealth roll from both Kaim and Hadrad, please.
Okay.
All right, don't do me wrong, baby.
And with the stalagmites covering you and the sound of the falls, I will give you both advantage on this.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
So roll a 12 on the first roll. So 14 is mine.
On advantage, I rolled a 20. So that's 22.
Woo!
Excellent. I believe
Yeah.
that's sufficient. Great.
Yeet.
All right. So you've moved partially down the passage, keeping cover from the stalagmites. You wave your friends forward, or are you continuing moving forward?
Both. We'll give them the wave
Both.
and then go to the
Ref,
next.
do I detect that? Do I detect that movement, Ref?
Not yet. I'll now have everybody roll me stealth.
I am casting guidance on myself.
Very good.
Do we have the same advantage that they did?
Everyone has advantage on stealth at this point.
Cool. Okay.
I rolled
So, yeah,
22.
guidance. That cancels my disadvantage. Whew. That's a big 4.
Ooh.
with guidance.
That's with
guidance?
guidance.
And advantage?
Well, advantage cancels out my disadvantage.
Armor.
Because of the armor.
yeah.
I'm not a particularly graceful elf.
All right, so
more
4
brute
from
force.
Valar. How did Turpin do?
22.
Very good. And Kayam?
14.
14. And Hadrad.
19.
Great. So At this point, it does seem that the clunk of metal armor coming from Phalar is loud enough to echo through the chamber, and the head cultist does indeed, in fact, all of the cultists notice the movement and hear the noise down there amongst the stalagmites.
I detect intruders! They must have brought an army if they dare confront us at this, the height of our ritual in the unholiest of holes. Primo, continue the ritual. The rest of you defend yourselves and bring punishment raining down upon this legion that must be invading upon us. Can I cast a spell, Ref?
At this point, I'll ask for an initiative roll from everyone.
Cool. I want blessings all around. I direct Tertius, Quartus, and Septimus to cast blessings on themselves and everyone else. We are all blessed by the wormy worm god.
Blessings all around. All the cultists have been blessed.
Space.
Yes, squirmy blessings from the worm god infuse us with power and potential. That's the least of our powers. There's more coming. Primo casts sanctuary upon himself with the word sanctum. Do I see this monk, Ref, coming at the river?
Actually, no. What you do see was you heard the clunk of metal from Phalar, and you saw him drop prone behind the stalagmites back.
But clearly someone's moving to the south. Am I right about that?
I think that they both beat your passive perception, if I recall.
All right, but the clunk is south of the entrance, and clearly not.
But the clunk came from
east.
south of the entrance, about halfway south between the entrance and the river.
I'm gonna have Sigilius.
You caught a brief flash of some white armor back there.
Okay. I'm gonna have Sigilius say the magic words Telium Spiritale, and thereby conjure a spiritual weapon as far towards the clunk as possible.
There it is. The golden warhammer, or Morningstar, has appeared on the banks of the river there.
Excellent. And then Secundo says the magic word Sanctum, and thereby casts Sanctuary on himself.
Secundo Sanctuary on himself. Okay.
Correct. And then at that point, Primo, who is the first one who casts Sanctuary on himself, leans down towards the altar, picks up a crystalline goblet that is full of white, squirming giant larvae that are pulsing with life, and they're glistening with a shiny sheen, and they seem to be about to break open, and perhaps there are teeth beginning to protrude from the larvae in the crystal goblet. And for the player's benefit, it looks something like this, with a goblet and the squirming, glistening larva with teeth beginning to protrude from it. And as he picks it up, Primo says, "Duis in felice id tortor formentum vestibulum." And then at that point, he ingests it and he digests it like this. Oh, the power of the worm god infuses me. And that's my turn.
Excellent. Next up is Phalar.
All right, so there's a spiritual weapon nearby.
That's correct. It's on the other side of these tall stalagmites that are between the group and you.
Can I see the top of the altar?
If you poke your head between those two stalagmites, you can indeed see all the way up to the top of the door. It is dimly lit. It is dimly lit, so it's a little shadowy. You just see shadowy figures moving around up there, but you can hear them chanting their spells and calling out insults to you.
So it is dimly lit for me, because I would otherwise see it in bright light if it were dimly lit.
You're absolutely right. Sorry, to Phalar's elven eyes, you can see all the cultists perfectly.
All right, which means it's in range within my daylight spell, which I'm going to cast on one of the idols there. That is not concentration. It creates a 60-foot radius of light, spreads out, bright light, and then another 60 feet of dim light.
Okay, so the range of daylight is simply 60 feet. And so the dim light exists because, perhaps I wasn't clear about this. The dim light exists because there are many braziers all about the board casting that dim light.
The additional 60 feet of dim light from the daylight spell would be not. It's not additive to anything else. So it's 60 feet of bright light.
I'm merely warning you that the top of the tour is probably more than 60 feet away from you.
Gotcha. Okay. Let's see.
Which is
I
the
will
range of the
cast it then. Yeah. In that case, I'm going to spend my 15 feet of movement to stand up from prone.
Very good.
And then move a further 15 with the group. I don't want to get left behind.
Very good.
If I am any closer to the top, am I closer to the?
You are closer to the top. You can, I guess, it's similar to how the cultists cast their spiritual weapon. If you want, you can just say as far out as possible. You'll hit the daylight spell.
Yeah, I just want to make sure that it gets the top of it as much. The individual spot I'm less concerned about. It's more just we get the top of it all illuminated.
Very good. Very good. Understood. Okay, so you cast
That's
the
what I'll
daylight
do.
spell. I'm now going to measure. So 60 feet just hits. Unfortunately, the furthest point is the top of this little peak right here. So it spills out the front portion of the, I will say, sort of from this bisecting line forward. You can't see that?
Certainly. Presumably, it extends 60 feet upwards because it is a radius. Can I get a ruling on that?
Indeed. What I'm going to say is bright light at any point on the forward section towards you, because the point of light originates here. Bright light all up here, and then I'm going to say it continues to be dim towards the back portion.
Okay, that's fine.
The southeast corner of the tour is unfortunately still dimly lit. Much as actually we see it shaded here in this top-down view.
Sure. Okay. Yeah, that's what he'll do then. So feel free to waste a dispel on that.
Boom. Huge amount of light at the top of the tour. At this point.
The light of the above ground! The ritual of the worm god was not meant for the light of day. But nonetheless, Primo, continue! Continue the ritual!
Excellent. Next up is Hadrad.
Okay, Hadrad, knowing his compatriots and how they play, is going to use this opportunity, this bright light in the face of the enemy, and he's going to dart across the creek. And basically, you can give me a ruling on how much movement I need, because I'm a monk and we got speed to burn. So I'm gonna try to jump across the creek and get at least try to climb to at least the top of the pillar there for the bridge.
Very good.
If I can do
Does this mean that you are completely ignoring the stairs and simply scaling the side of the pillar, or
I climb as fast as I move, so the stairs are inconsequential to Hadrad.
Very good.
He just starts Spider-Maning up the side, but trying to keep the pillar in between him, because I want to maintain my cover. Like at the end of this, what I want to try to do, if I can't get there in 45 minutes, I'm going to use a bonus action to do Step of the Wind to fulfill that movement, and then use my action to hide.
Very good.
Is what I want to try to. I want to be hidden by the end of this.
Let's begin with an athletics check to jump the river. The rocks here are quite slick. The river is fast moving and makes you a little nervous. The DC for this will be 12.
DC is 12 on an athletics check.
Indeed. Jump the river just here. It's about an 8-foot gap.
An 8-foot gap. So I need to make the roll just because of the slick rocks, because otherwise.
Indeed. Correct. Yeah, the dim light and the slick rocks and the fear of getting sucked in.
Pruitt, what happened?
Oh no!
Oh dear! nimbly jumps to the other side.
This is the PG-13, so let me take this moment to say fuck.
Nimbly jumps to the other side, feeling very confident. His foot slips and skids on the slick rock. He goes tumbling backwards into the water.
All right.
Okay.
All right. You got
so that changes my action slightly.
The water quickly sucks you downstream here towards these stalactites, where you begin to find yourself in swirling, tumultuous water.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Is he stabbed on the stalactite? Is he lacerated, like spears on the stalactites? Maybe next round.
Still have an action. Still have a bonus.
are technically still in some of my move, because my move is 45 feet.
That is true. You've only actually spent 10 feet of movement.
So I'm going to continue to spend movement since I do have these gloves of swimming and climbing, and I get a +5 on my athletics checks for swimming, if need be. But I do swim at my movement speed. So I'm going to try to get out of this water, get over to the side, and technically this is all part of the plan. I just jumped in the water, swam to the other side. I'm going to climb out.
So you need to be slippery for when you engage the enemy. So.
What I will ask for,
rocks, why would you try to jump it? I mean, I'm serious.
Okay. So I will need an athletics check to do the swim. Because of the tumultuous water and the spinning and the churning here and the stalactites, it is DC 15 to swim in this water here.
Okay, I rolled a 14, but with my gloves and my natural athletics, that's a +10. So that's a 24 to paddle over and climb out.
Great. And I believe the gloves also allow you to move your normal rate while swimming.
While swimming and climbing, yes.
Very good. So you make your way. Let's see, that's another... that's 25 gets you onto the shore here.
Okay, I still have 20 feet of movement.
Yep, you
so
can see
I want
just in front of you, in fact, just in front of you right here is the first step up the twisting stair around the pillar.
Okay, so what if I try to climb that stalactite, just like jump up and just Spider-Man up the backside of that pillar?
I will need another athletics check to do the climb, but the DC here is only 10 due to all the rocky stalactites and easy handholds.
Okay, with my bonuses from the gloves and my natural ability, I get a +10.
Great, so just
you still want me to roll?
Don't roll a 1.
Do roll a 1. Do roll a 1.
A 19.
Excellent.
So I just...
You had 25, so another...
You fly up, yeah.
You have enough to get just to the first ledge in just your movement.
In just my movement?
Yeah,
oh, man.
That's your 45 movement there.
I really want to attack, but you know what?
Hide.
I'm going to hide. Yeah, I'm going to use my action to hide.
Very
just
good.
like get to the top
low
and just
under the rocks. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
Baby. All right, that's a 14 plus 2 is 16.
16. You're well hidden behind the rocks there. You feel like no one can see you.
And I use my dart to reflect the light of daylight back to my compatriots to let them know I'm in position.
Excellent. Turpin Bravebow, you're up.
You know what I always say? Bullies get bolts, or in this case, arrows. So I'm going to pop out from behind my stalagmite, and I'm going to shoot Cerebliculus in the face with my bow.
All right, so you move.
I have 80,
15 feet through this gap here so that you can get out from behind the stalagmites.
15. Okay. I think I'm within 80 feet. That's the range on my bow. Going for the big bad. That's why we're here.
Yep.
26 versus armor class.
That is a hit.
That will be 10 damage.
Oh no, wait. Actually, he is not sanctuaried, is he? So yeah, 10 damage.
Haha.
Yeah.
Am I hit?
So
You are hit.
are any of his allies within 5 feet?
I think they are carefully spaced 10 feet apart from each other. I think.
I agree with that statement, indeed. At this point.
Smartly done, referee. All right, then I cannot use Hordebreaker. I will just use my second attack to once again fire another arrow at the big bad. I have rolled.
No. That's not necessary.
I have rolled a 21 versus armor class.
That is a hit.
All right, that's an additional 9 piercing damage. Oh, that's what it looks like. Yep.
Very good.
Excellent.
Is that a
Anything else?
halfling I see?
Turpin.
Is that a halfling?
So I would like to use my remaining 10 feet of movement to get behind another stalagmite. I know it took 15 to come out, but if I can get any sort of cover behind something,
I think if you
that's how Turpin does.
This pocket just
Perfect.
To,
Yeah. Absolutely.
That is how a Turpin do.
It's just to be clear, just to clarify, still technically visible, but with a fairly significant armor class bonus
Yes.
to cover this light.
Sure.
Kayam, what would you like to do?
Kayam first looks at his halfling compatriot with a look of just like, that'll do. And he is going to attempt to do what Prue's character did, only less poorly. That's what he's going to do.
What, dive in the water and swim across? Come on.
Sure. Chaim won't acknowledge the mistake if that will make his friend feel worse about it. But he's going to attempt to hippity hop across about the same place where... What's your character's name? The monk?
Hadrad.
I had it all pulled up. Hadrad. About in the same place where Hadrad did.
Very good.
Because I also have
from-
40
you're
feet
about-
of movement.
You're about 10 feet from the shore, so you move 10
Yes.
feet to the very tip of the river, and go ahead and make me your athletics check. DC 12 to leap
DC 12.
this section of river.
That's... I rolled a 13, so I got a 19 to do that. And then I'm assuming you're using potions are in action, yes? Or pots in action?
Generally, the way I've been ruling it is you get one interact with object through your movement. So if the potion was already in your hand, you could
Yes.
drink it. But it will be a full action to get it out of your pack and drink, and all in one round.
Okay. That's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and drink my potion of climbing at this point. I wanted to make sure I had flexibility in case I fell in the river. But yes, sensing that a good time is about to be had, Kaim is about to start drinking.
Great.
And he's going to use the rest of his movement. He wants to try to hippity hop across the other river crossing instead of going straight up the bridge. So he's going to get as close to that as he can. I have 40 feet of movement. So I don't know if I can do another.
You have just enough to top it at
All right.
this very narrow point by this brazier. So go ahead
Cool.
and give me another. Go ahead and give me another
right.
athletics roll. To hop right here.
I got a 25.
Okay, you hop across to this side.
Yep.
You're there at the.
Yep. Is that all of my movement?
That is the extreme of your movement.
Then I am done. I'm tingling with anticipation of raging and murdering
Excellent.
like a hero.
I believe I have no end of round anythings to adjudicate. So, cultists.
Are you sure, Rev? You sure?
I'm
Yeah.
actually sure. Yeah, surprisingly sure about that.
I want the lowest two. I direct the lowest two cultists, Septimus and Octavio. Kill that halfling. Take my revenge. And Septimus and Octavio move as far out on the lower tor as they can on a move.
You want Septimus right next to him?
Great. I want them 10 feet apart, Ref.
Very good.
Oh, that's meta knowledge. Cultists wouldn't know that I have that ability.
Fair game for the big bad.
All right.
What do I see over? Do I see targets across the stalagmites?
Yes, they have various levels of cover, but there's a halfling and an elf across there. I think they're both in probably in the most heavily covered category. Which I just can't remember.
Three
the name
quarters.
of it. 3/4. Thank you. 3/4 cover.
All right. Does that affect spells at all?
Only if they have to hit rolls.
Excellent. Well, in that case, Septimus and Octavio point at the elf because they particularly hate elves and say the magic words Sacrum Flammeus and thereby cast 2 sacred flames at the elf. And the elf must make 2 Dex 13 saves or take radiant damage.
There we go.
I'm ready with it right here.
One of them is a 20. Oh, sorry, one of them rolled under my computer, and the other one there is in 13. Exactly.
Which is just enough.
Are you kidding
nice.
me?
Just enough.
You don't have a
Why?
damage on those, do you, Sigilius?
That is correct. That is the way that Sacred Flame works. We all know that. You don't have to tell us that. So you got lucky this time. We'll see next round. That's fine. I
Certainly.
want Sextus and Quintus to come up the stairs, but take cover on the top part of the tor.
This is Quintus.
No, I want him on the corner, like that one right there. I just want to move 10 feet.
Okay, so Is he coming up the step or staying down?
No, I want him down, taking cover.
Down
Cover, that's good.
Next to Corvus.
Yep.
Well, that's 20 feet for Sextus.
That's fine.
Very good.
I will direct the spiritual weapon as a bonus action to attack the halfling.
Oh no.
That is enough to get it to come swing around to the other side of the stalagmite. So go ahead and make an attack.
Excellent. I rolled a 10. Is that good?
You have failed to penetrate my armor. I laugh.
These halflings are a nuisance, and I heard that as well. You will pay. You will pay her dearly on the next round, halfling. Don't think I didn't hear that up here. And I have Sigilius get prone.
Just right here in front of the altar?
Yep, right there. And he points down at the island where the bridge is and says the magical words "Plaga insectum," and thereby conjures an insect plague covering the coastline. Yeah, perfect. I like it. Perfect.
Okay. Unfortunately,
Oh,
you are
fun.
within that radius
Yes.
as insects
Ooh.
begin to bubble and roil and emerge from every crack and crevice of the stonework around. I believe you'll have to make a saving throw. Dan, go
Which
ahead.
kind?
Dan, go ahead and roll.
I have to get all my d10s here. That is a Constitution save, 16.
Oh, okay. Let's see how I do. Oh, I rolled a 10 on that.
Excellent. Excellent. You take 16 points of insects biting hornets, wasps, and biting worms around your feet. 16 points of damage.
16 points of damage. All right.
Also, I'll point out that
Famous.
area is obscured and difficult terrain. I
Okay.
just created.
Lightly obscured, I believe.
Correct. That is correct, Rev. Yes, that's what I said. I clearly said that.
Very good. Just qualify.
And Secundus casts Sanctuary on Sigilius, and I direct the two acolytes closest to the bridge to take out their maces and destroy the supports of the bridge.
Okay, so you are
Come on.
asking Quartus and Tertius to climb down here
Yes.
and start smacking the bridge with their maces. Roll me some damage for the maces, please.
8 is the total. 6 and a 2.
They begin to smash. Bits of wood go flying. One of the ropes breaks. Tang! The bridge is taking heavy damage, but it is still hanging on, though looking quite precarious at this point.
And meanwhile, Primo also gets prone in order to get under these arrows that are flying around his head. But he continues the ritual, and he's still holding the crystal goblet. And the next line of the ritual that he incants is "Suspendisse accumsan dui ulam kerpor elit conque." And he takes the crystalline goblet and he pulls out another squiggling larvae with teeth about to burst out of it, and he consumes it entirely, like so. Yes! Blessings of the worm god upon us.
Excellent.
This
Yeah.
guy. This
Can
guy.
you hold that goblet up again for us to see?
Rev, do I have to do that?
I think it's warranted. Yeah, go for it. Just give us a view. Give us a quick look at the goblet. Excellent.
I mean, maybe.
All right, Baylor, you're up.
All right, I need a couple of rulings here.
great.
Hadrad does not look like he is within 60 feet of Phalor. Is that
totally agree with
correct?
that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
more than 60
okay.
anyway.
All right, so
Give it time.
let's do this. Let's do this instead, because I would love to cast Shield of Faith on you if you're going to be throwing down with those people, but I'm not. In that case, I'm going to take a position that's closest to the river without getting within 5 feet of it and still being behind cover. Is that possible?
I'm looking for a spot for you. Let's
If it's
Help
not,
Turpin.
so
I will choose
so-
cover over. Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Yeah, so Turpin and the
Please help Turpin.
magical spiritual weapon are kind of taking those spots up. Now you could, if you wanted to, dodge over towards behind this stalagmite on the right. If you want to.
That's too far away for me.
Yeah.
I'll get within 5 feet of Turpin and just trust to whatever cover that provides me. I can't do anything about that spiritual weapon, Turpin. I'm sorry. How are you? Did you take a nasty hit? No, you didn't get hit at all, did you?
but I'm gonna move away from him because I don't know if this is metagaming. I want to move away from him because I want to keep shooting up top, and I'm gonna have disadvantage if I try and. But I'll do it.
Thalar, are you getting within striking distance of the spiritual weapon?
No, I'm gonna stay with it. If there's a possibility of saying within 5 feet of
you are now
of Turpin,
you are now within reach of Turpin and not within reach of the spiritual
excellent.
weapon. The three of you
Excellent. Can I see the far side of that that over there? Where the two cultists are down on the lower tier. Yeah. Does Phalar have LOS on that?
Yeah, I think he does.
Okay, I'm going to cast my own spiritual weapon on that side, next to the leftmost from my perspective.
Very good.
So again,
the range of a spiritual weapon, I believe, when initially cast, is 60 feet. So
60 feet. Yeah, great.
Measure that out. Not a problem. Definitely within range.
And
a glistening, glowing battle axe appears. Where exactly would you want? In between them, or down in front of him?
In between, please.
In between. Very good.
And that's going to be so I'll make the attack that comes with that. That's
would you like to attack the one on the left or the right?
The left.
That will be Octavius.
Octavius. All right, here we go. That is going to be an 18 to hit and 9 damage. If that hits.
Yeah, it does. It does.
Oh!
And he's also...
painful, but I am still alive.
Yes. He also needs to make, as that was a bonus action, I'm going to cast my cantrip, Sacred Flame at him, DC 14 Dex save, please.
Excellent. Can do that.
I am quite dexterous, so I think I can... I rolled an 11. 11.
That's going to be another 10 damage then.
The fire strikes down from the sky and completely smites Octavius dead.
Oh, yeah. All right. That's my turn.
Mark it.
Stand fast, my loyal acolytes, as long as they use all of their spell powers and do not get in within melee of you. We can win this.
Hydrad, what would you like to do?
I'd like to get in with melee, within melee of them.
Yeah.
So the distance across that bridge to those two guys they're just sitting there on the ledge. How far is that? Is that about a move?
You think it's probably just within the edge of your running speed. Until you commit to it, I'm not going to measure. So you might make it to them with a single move. It's close. It's tight.
Regardless, I'm going to make a dash. That's a phrase. That's a figure of speech. I'm not taking the dash action, but I'm going to run across the bridge as far as my move will take me. And if needs be, I have other options.
Very good. So unfortunately, your move gets you just about 10 feet from the end of the bridge, and the bridge wobbles and shakes as you move across it because it is barely hanging on.
Roll to fall off, ref. If it's so shaky, roll to roll off.
Nope. It is sturdy enough at the moment. Has not quite taken enough damage to require any roll.
Nice.
Sounds like somebody should have brought axes instead of maces to cut through rope.
Well, there is that too. Okay, in that case, I'll go ahead and spend, because I didn't have to spend a key point early on. So I'm going to go ahead and spend a key point to do a Step of the Wind.
Very good.
Oh, that's right. I can't manipulate that at all. So I'm going to do a key point to Step of the Wind and move right up in the faces of these two acolytes who are just standing there. Just look at him. Guy on the left, he's going to get a punch in the face. And
we can talk this out. We can talk this out. I am merely a lowly underling. I'm only following orders.
Does a 15 hit?
Yes, I've been punched in the face at this point.
Okay. So I'm going to punch him, and I'm going to need him to go ahead and make a. He's going to take 6 damage, and I'm going to need him to go ahead and make a con save, DC 14.
I've rolled 7. I've rolled a 7 on the con save.
So he is stunned.
Excellent.
Stunned! I
Dice are
tell
not
you.
working.
Remind me, please, if this is the one on Hadrod's left or right.
I'm striking the one on the left.
For the left. Very good.
Stunning
That would
fist
be
to the
Tertius,
face.
Dan, for your records. That's Tertius.
Tertius, that's secondary to his thinking right now. So,
Just got to keep our records straight over here. Excellent.
yeah, I know. All right. So with my second attack, because I get 2 of those,
Oh, crap.
I'm going to punch the guy on the right.
Very good. That would be cautious.
I rolled a 17, so it's a 22 to hit,
That is a hit.
and he's going to take 8 damage. And I'm going to need him to make a wisdom save, or excuse me, a con save, or be stunned as well.
I rolled a natural 1 on the die, so I failed that.
points
and
are
I don't
flying
know what
here.
dice I can get here to actually roll reasonably, because none of this makes any sense.
A
So-
rapid
Yeah,
1-2
God.
from Hadrod, stunning his
Blame
enemies as
the
he
dice.
smacks cultist after cultist. Crack.
Yeah,
Crack.
he comes up and does like a ridge hand to this one's neck and then an elbow to this one's neck, and they're both just kind of. And here's the thing: since I used my bonus action for Step of the Wind, I still have like 35 feet of movement,
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
and I'm standing in front of 2 stunned guys.
That's correct.
So Hadrad is going to bank a hard left there, and end up somewhere at the top of this ritual platform, right there up as far as he can get away from these other 2 guys, and he's
So-
gonna like look up.
You have kind of your where you tell me where you want to be because you got plenty of movement.
You see that guy laying down,
Yeah,
like in front of him,
great.
but not within reach.
Not within reach. 5 feet away.
But I want to
Very
keep as much of the top of the this area here between him and whatever, so he can have now he has a nice bottleneck that he can defend.
Oh man, the elbow drop next turn is coming. I can feel it.
So anyway, that's the end of my turn. As he kind of turns around and he's ready to take on all comers.
You can see just 10 feet away up on the top of the platform the prone form of your pal Eric, laying in front of the altar. High priest laying down on the other side of the altar, and this poor acolyte laying down in front of you, trying to all of them laying down on the ground because they're looking over, watching for incoming arrows, not expecting to see a monk come flying up across the bridge.
Standing over them, going, "You chose wrong, my friend. You chose wrong."
Turpin Bravebow, it's your turn.
Okay.
How did he get there so fast?
The 2 that my friend just stunned, are they within arrow range? Hadrad?
Yeah.
Hadrad.
Okay. Hadrad.
I'm gonna get down.
Are they within
Try
80
and
feet?
see. Unfortunately, from Turpin's point of view, they are on
Do I not have line of sight? It looks like
you
they're
don't quite have line of sight 'cause they're
poking
on the
out a
other
little bit.
side. They're,
Darn.
They
Okay.
are poking about a little bit from the height of the camera, but when I get down and look from Turpin's point of view, they're completely obstructed, I'm afraid.
Sure, gotcha. No worries. So prone people, I have disadvantage against them with a range attack, correct?
I'm sorry, prone, yes, that's true.
Okay. So I also have disadvantage when I'm engaged making a range attack, and you can't double disadvantage. So I'm just going to keep attacking our boss guy here. I'm also going to declare him. I'm going to use my bonus action for a Hunter's Mark, which I definitely should have done last turn.
Excellent. Place a
I like
Hunter's
my
Mark
bonus
on the-
enough. Yeah.
on
I like
the,
my bonus enough for the disadvantage, so I'm going to roll to attack him.
This is the High Priest, correct?
Yes, the High Priest.
Good.
So,
I have
what did I do?
Sanctuary on that high priest ref.
That's right. The High Priest
Yeah.
is Sanctuary, so you will have to break that with a Wisdom check DC 13.
After a hit, or just even after
Nope,
declaring?
even to attack. As you
Okay,
attempt
cool.
to attack him, you feel the magics pushing your arms to try and move your bow aside.
All right, I rolled a 5, which means that I will change targets to Primo.
Very good. Primo's also under a sanctuary. You're going to have to make another wisdom check.
I rolled a 7, which
So,
means I will change targets to the guy across the river.
Septimus, very good. No
Great.
disadvantage on that shot.
No, well, I'm engaged.
Oh, that's true.
So, oh man. Okay. All right. I have rolled a 13. 14. Excuse me. 14 versus armor class.
That
That's
does
a hit ref.
That is a hit.
Nice. Okay. So I don't have my bonus for Hunter's Mark on him because he is not my quarry. So 8 damage.
8 damage, Septimus.
So for my second attack, does Sanctuary still apply? That roll still apply, or can I redeclare?
No, you have to re-roll. You have to roll for every attack, I'm afraid.
All right, that's cool. I don't mind. I will once again attempt to shoot our cult leader.
Good.
This time, my wisdom saving was a 22.
All right, this time you managed to push through the magics defending him and fire an arrow up at the high priest.
Okay.
But he still has disadvantage, am I right, Rev?
He does have disadvantage. It's true.
With disadvantage, I have rolled a 16. Does that hit his armor class?
I believe it ricochets off of the apparent metal helm that the Halid cultist is wearing.
All right, we're learning things, right? We're learning things, so that's important. And then I will stand fast.
Our defenses are impregnable, my loyal acolytes. Have no fear. Victory is close.
Chaim, it is your turn.
All right. I'm in a big bug-infested, disgusting place. So I am going to GTFO, as they say. And I'm going to climb straight up this cliffside.
So there is, coming up to the side of this brazier, there is a short 10-foot cliff here. Then there's another 10-foot climb to here, and then a 20-foot climb to where Hadrad is. So there are a couple of breaking points there. So we're going to do this one at a time. As you come up, there's 5 feet of movement. And go ahead and roll me an athletics check. It is a DC 12 to climb this side of the steep side of the tour.
Well, I do have my potion of climbing on myself.
Correct, so you get advantage.
Okay. Let's see. That was a 22 and a 24.
Great. The potion of climbing, I believe, also allows you to move your full movement speed as you're climbing. So
indeed,
that is 15 feet of movement to get there. We roll me another advantage DC 12 check for the next leg.
Yes. That's... There we go. I passed that with, 14?
Great. So you make it up to the next ledge. Now, the next bit of climb is 20 feet. You have now gone 10, 25. So
25. So I only have 15 left.
Yeah, so your normal move will only get you to about within 5 feet of the lip up there by Hadrad.
Well, I will just use the rest of my movement to get up there.
Okay.
And
you can also choose to use your action to dash if you prefer.
Yes, I'm going to take the daction, please.
Excellent. Go ahead and give me one last check to get up this last leg.
All right. I got it with a 17.
Great. Would you like to come up between Hadrad and this cultist or behind Hadrad?
Is it possible for me to get up on the other side of that cultist?
Absolutely.
And be in the corner?
With the dash movement, you have a bunch of extra movement. So that's like, I guess that's only 5, 10, 15. So you still have a bit more movement as well, but you come up kind of on.
Nice.
I can convince your miniature
cool.
to stay there. There we go. Great. You're right there, standing above that.
I will tell my friend Eric, we're here. We shall save you.
He seems to be completely passed out and unaware of the presence of friends here to rescue him.
Kayam is amused because usually it is the other way around for him and Eric. I'm gonna rage.
Excellent.
Ah, hell yeah.
Is this a normal rage or are you frenzying as well?
Yeah.
I think the answer is always yeah when
frenzying.
asked that question.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay. Great. So the frenzied rage will allow you to in future use your bonus action to make an additional attack, but when you fall out of the rage, you will take a level of exhaustion.
That's okay.
Very good.
I'm okay with that.
It's just one level. You live with that.
Yeah, just
that brings us up to the cultists.
Very good. Thanks, Rev. So I have. What was that? What I have. Ref, one of the players is unsportsmanlike conduct, attempting to distract me on my turn. I'd like that player sanctioned, please. Can you card that player, please? Ref. Ref, where's the ref? The ref is just taking a break. What's going on, ref?
Green card on that, please. Green card on that.
Thank you.
No
Thank you, ref. Thank you. Finally, you're paying attention for once.
Hey,
thank you very much.
Right.
I'm trying to move the
Don't
camera.
give in to audience pressure, ref. Stand tall.
I'm going to give a yellow card.
It's
I'm sorry.
my turn.
Oh.
It's my turn, and I get the spotlight at this point. Secundus says the magic words Landatum, which triggers a command spell on Kayam. And that command is dive.
Oh my.
Do we have a save on the command spell from Kaya?
What kind of save is it? Am I doing Wiz save?
Wisdom 13. I sure hope Kayam has a high wisdom. That'll be
Hey,
real
well,
nice
you
for
know,
him right
all those
now.
barbarians are very wise. It's their deal.
Wise as a barbarian,
God.
as they say.
I rolled an 18, which means I got a 17.
Well, there you go. Kaya manages to resist the urge to leap off of the side of the precipitous cliff here.
Well, in that
Don't
case,
do it again. Don't do it again, Kayam.
who's behind the platform there? Is it Quintus?
Back in
Okay,
the corner,
Quintus
you
and
have
Sextus
Quintus
there.
and Sextus there as well. That's true.
Great. All right. Well, then in that case, Quintus points at Kayam and does the exact same thing. Does a command for dive.
Kayam goes, that's redundant, but effective possibly.
Same DC.
I got a 10 that time.
Yes. Oh, unfortunately, Kayam, on the beginning of your turn, you will have to dive off the cliff.
Okay.
Excellent.
Is there room for
that seems to be
interpretation
working
on the
well enough.
command?
Is it
room
the
for-
first thing I have to do?
You must, yes, it's the first thing you must do, I think, on your turn. There is some room for interpretation. I'll hear arguments on your turn.
You
I have some
dive
arguments.
on Primo,
Could be
who's
dive
currently
for cover.
prone.
You know, there could
That's
be lots of
working well
ways to
enough.
interpret dive.
That Sextus points at Hadrad and does the same thing. Also gives the command to dive. Wisdom 13.
That's gonna be a whoop. There it is. That's a 12, and that's a plus 3.
Aw.
So that's a 15.
Oh,
Hey.
See what I did there?
Excellent.
I gave you a ray
twists
of
and
hope,
turns
and I smashed
everywhere.
the wall.
Hadrad
Roller
resists
coaster.
the
Fine,
urge
fine.
to leap to
That's
his
fine.
doom.
Had to happen at least once. So Tertius and Quartus, can I have them do something?
No, they are stunned.
Till the end.
The spiritual weapon. I use a bonus action to spend the spiritual weapon against the elf.
AC
This
18.
tile roll really well for me right now. I rolled a 15.
Moves to attack.
15.
AC 18.
Holds up his
Already
mighty,
the highest
mighty
armor class.
shield and blocks the blow.
Okay, all right, fine. Septimus gets down. Septimus gets prone and then casts Sacred Flame. Baylor needs to make a
So
dex 13.
Dex DC
Dex 13.
save, please.
Ooh, no such luck. That's an 11.
Now we're cooking. 5 points of radiant damage.
All right. That's my first damage I've taken.
So I see that Hadrad is made of sterner stuff than that barbarian, and I think I really want him off the table. So Civilius says, "No inhuman monster shall defeat our ritual all these years, gathering our precious larva, assembling the ritual. Half-orc, be gone!" And he casts banishment on Hadrad that wipes him out of the plane of existence.
The swears and curses of the high priest are somewhat undermined by being made from his prone position behind the altar. But nonetheless, he casts his spell, poking his head out at Hadrad. And go ahead and there's a save on that one as well, correct?
Yeah.
Yes, this is Charisma 16. I believe that Hadrad told me earlier that his charisma is not so high, if I recall correctly.
It's not.
Charisma
It's not.
Come on. What do you got? What's happened?
So I got a -1 on this. So
What do you got?
What is that? Is that a 19? 19 on the
19.
button?
Oh,
Come on! How do we know he didn't manipulate that? How do we know he didn't manipulate that to explode? I
That
don't believe
sounds
that.
like the great
Hadrad
falling
again
one is
throws
directing,
off the
Cinder
vial.
cultist. That's a tough one.
Be gone.
Seriously, my heart rate is like a million miles a minute right now.
So at this point, Primo still has the crystal goblet. He's continuing the ritual. Donek ex tellus malaswega vel duiat ulam kerper.
Really continuing the ritual from his prone position right in front of the barbarian and the monk.
Is the crawling god?
I am compelled.
This is too much. This is too much. I can't believe that the great crawling one would accept such a groveling ritual, such as Primo or Sigilius is performing. Goodness.
It is exactly what the worm god desires. Your belly on the cold earth.
The war god prefers manful action and heroism.
Speaking of the war god, I believe it is your turn, Phalar.
Certainly. So we've still got what's his name, Septimus down at the bottom there.
Yes, indeed. He has laid himself prone to avoid the arrows from the halfling. He's there in front of, adjacent to your spiritual weapon.
Yes, certainly. So, I'm refreshing myself. It gets an attack regardless. Yes, it's only a bonus action to move it.
I believe it is a bonus action to move and attack with it.
Okay.
So I think you still need to spend a bonus action, even if it
repeat
doesn't.
the attack. Yes, true. All right. So in that case, I am going to make my bonus action to attack that.
And that will be at advantage because he's prone.
Oh, thank you. And let's see. That's going to be a 21 to hit for 9 damage.
Oh!
Is he still alive, Dan? I didn't know if he had previous damage.
No, he's very not alive. That was he has an arrow in his head, Ref. Come on, get real.
Well, it was technically an axe. Technically, he has a spiritual axe in his head.
Oh well, in that case, yeah, he's really dead.
Come on, get out the axe. No axe. Go on.
Can I still move it 20 feet?
You can. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so I'll move it 20 feet up the tiers there.
So it's moved up to that spot up along the
excellent
side of the cliff.
All right, I think I'm going to move closer. I think I'm going to move there next to Turpin and risk the water there. If that gets me closer. Yeah, I still want to stay close to him. I am going to attempt to hit. Is that Primo in front of Hadrad?
Correct.
I'm going to try to hit Primo with a guiding bolt. That is with disadvantage because it's an attack roll.
Okay, and the range of that is
120 feet.
120. Oh, that's certainly within.
Oh, I forgot. That is 120.
Does the globe of the insect plague obscure the shot?
It is only light obscurement, so that does not block any kind of ranged attacks.
So I did not realize the guiding bolt was 120. I kept going by 60. Is it possible to hit the one standing in the back with that guiding bolt instead, or am I locked in my action?
You're referring to this one back here?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could hit him, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, you can see him. Yep.
All right. In that case, that's who I'm attempting to attack. So this is my attack roll. Plus 6. Ooh, no, I do not think so. That is an 8 to attack.
Unfortunately, the guiding bolt whizzes by into the dark side.
All right, that is my action, bonus action, and move. Done with my turn.
Excellent. That brings us to Hadrad.
So, how big is Eric? Is he a big guy?
He's an elf, actually. He's fairly slight.
Interesting.
He is wearing his armor. He's in his plate armor.
Yeah, but it's elven plate, right? That's still pretty...
You think you could pick him up? Yeah,
I think I could pick him up. Yeah, so I move 45 feet. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to use a key point to take patient defense so that I am harder to hit. I'm going to look that priest straight in the eye and be like, listen, hey, this is your house. You want us gone? We're gone. And I run up and grab him and then use my move to move 45 feet like straight down the side because I have my gloves of climbing. So I'm just going to screw that. I have slow fall 30 feet. So I'm just gonna kind of. Oh, and he said dive, and he's just gonna dive off the edge north.
To the north, in the direction of the
spiritual weapon that's coming up the side.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna run up, grab him, and dive off the side, and as far as 45 feet will get me.
That's 10. Now, really, the question is simply, what is the path there? I think it is 20, 25 to come up here alongside. Now, you're basically going right between Primo and the High Priest as you move through there. Are you all right with that?
Yeah. That's that. Yeah, that's why I took that whole defense action. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I got the dodge action going.
Great.
No, Rev. So that character has got to be heavily encumbered at this point.
I'm a monk with 14 strength, so I have almost no equipment.
That's true, but the elf is what, like 150 pounds, and his armor's 55 pounds. So I think at this point you're carrying 240 pounds in my estimate, which is clearly more than 10 times your strength.
What is your argument here? That he should be moving slower?
Yes. His speed should drop by 20 feet, and you should have disadvantage on ability checks, attack rolls, and saving throws using the physical abilities.
I agree with that ruling, and yet it is not enough to slow him down from his stated intent. Measuring it out, 10 feet there to pick him up, another 15 to get where he is. A 20 penalty for the carry is 35. He's still got 10 feet of movement to get off the edge of this cliff.
It's also strength times 15. Sorry, I don't mean to step on the ref's toes.
Regardless,
we are using variant encumbrance, and he can move, but he's heavily encumbered over times 10.
Gotcha. Okay, that's
So,
good to know.
15 is the limit.
correct. But it's still,
Thank you,
still
Baylor.
all reasonable. Now, the only thing is that I do believe if you want that Primo and the High Priest will both get can use their reaction to take opportunity attacks on Hadrad if they want.
I will totally do that. So it's what, Primo and Sigilius, is that right?
Correct.
Okay, so here comes Primo. That's definitely a miss. Here comes Sigilius lashes out with a dagger. One of these was a 25, but the other one's only 8.
The old dagger ankle attack. Classic bad guy move.
I narrowly missed cutting out his Achilles tendon.
So that was 2 attacks.
No, Achilles.
20.
What?
I do believe those sanctuaries are gone.
12. Okay, great.
Yeah, the sanctuaries
they
are gone.
attack, so they lose sanctuary.
Yep.
Nice.
That is true.
Oh,
That
they're
is
so
true.
dead.
They
They're so
lost their
dead.
sanctuary from making attack. So you move here. You move
shit,
off
Turpin.
this
Can I take that
direction.
back, Ref? Can I take that back?
You fall 20 feet.
Yeah,
from
like
there.
right there. Yep.
I'm not going to roll the 2d6 falling damage because it can't possibly get over the amount that you absorb from your monk ability to slow fall. So you've made it there.
Just kind of slide down the side.
And I'm just to remind us, I'm going to put
Stupid
Eric's
monk.
miniature here right next to you, so we remember that you are carrying Eric. Well done. Well done, Hadrad.
Tiny golf clap.
Turpin Bravebow.
Who casts spiritual weapon? The one that's next to us right now. Which cultist?
The High Priest.
Okay. Does it have its own reaction? If I move away from it, will I incur an opportunity attack?
It
Or
does not get its own
Okay.
reaction.
then I will move away from it, so I am no longer engaged. Just forward, in front of the stalagmite. Closest to me.
Around through this gap to come towards
Exactly. And then I still feel good about my attack, which is a +9. So I'm going to shoot at cult leader Sigilius.
Very good.
With disadvantage.
Who's laying? Yes, because he's laying prone in front of Kayam.
Yeah, I rolled a 14. So that's probably gonna miss.
Indeed,
that is a miss.
Ricochets off of the side of the cliff.
Sure. Is he within 5 feet of someone? I can't tell. Is there a cultist close enough to him?
Only Kayam, unfortunately.
Okay.
Kayam is 10 feet from him to the next nearest. No, wait. Wait a minute. This was Sigilius. No, let me take that back. I'm gonna take that back. It does look like Secundus here.
Is this fellow? Oh, go wonderful.
Within 5 feet, I think.
So I will use
like
my
10
horde
feet.
breaker ability.
Can I get a measurement on that?
When you
Ref?
go
I'm pretty
prone, you
that's
spread out.
10 feet.
Okay. I'm looking at it, and the base of Sigilius is in this space right here. So I'm going to say that they are directly adjacent. That is within 5 feet.
I'm pretty sure I carefully spaced them out by 10 feet. If you look at the tape.
Nope. You had to move Secundus to get within visual range to try and cast the command spells. You may send
Fair
a written
ruling, Russ.
dispute
Fair
to the
ruling.
commission.
I screwed again. That's
ruling.
fine. I'm getting accustomed to it. I see what happens here. That's fine. I'm getting accustomed to getting screwed over again. So fine. At least you're being consistent, Ref.
I roll. So with my Horde Breaker, I get a
Spicy.
free attack on an adjacent enemy. That is a 23 versus armor class.
That I think hits Secundus.
Yeah. And that will do 7 piercing damage with an arrow.
Secundus is still up. He's writhing around in some amount of pain, but he's still up.
Take him out. Take him out.
No, I'm sorry. According to my notes, Secundus did have an active sanctuary on him. Was not one of the ones who took a reaction shot there. So you do need to make that wisdom check to attack Secundus.
Whoa.
Good point.
We're getting
Good point.
kind of weird now because
point.
Horde Breaker only hits adjacent enemies. So I failed my wisdom saving throw
Yeah.
DC.
Okay.
So I
So
lose that
unfortunately-
attack entirely, right?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
unfortunately, with no other valid
Weird.
targets, you lose the attack entirely.
Oh,
Gotcha. Okay. Man.
See, Big
All
Bad
right,
sometimes will roll in your
Second
favor.
attack.
good. Yeah, good call, Ref.
I do have a
you know,
second attack.
good call. I take it back.
Okay.
I take it back. You've got some goods there.
Fair
Yeah,
ref.
You're
Fair
not
ref.
entirely ignorant of the rules.
I'm just going to try again on Sergilius, even with disadvantage. 18 versus armor class with disadvantage.
That is actually a hit, I'm afraid to say.
Yay! And he's my 100 core, so I get an additional d6 for a total of 11 damage.
Oh,
Yeah.
how did that? That's spurting.
All right, Kayam. You are under
Yes.
compulsion to dive.
Yes, I am. So,
My favorite part.
in order to do that, I am wondering. So, I am here. I'm next to Primo, yes?
Mm-hmm.
So, I do not dispute the fact that I do need to dive. And that is true. I would like to choose to dive through Primo's space and take him with me.
No. No, that's
I think
no. The command was just die.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
at least a D8 to determine direction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would allow you potentially to dive on top of Primo. That is possible.
Yes.
And I will need a
No, you
dive
don't,
roll for
correct.
that. But
I
I don't
would-
think there's
I would
any
like to do-
interpretation of dive where you scoop up Primo and take him with you
Okay.
off the side of the cliff.
That's okay.
So,
But no, I would be happy to dive on top of Primo with my own
Great.
raging
So,
frothy body.
The strange
Yes.
magics are muddling your head. You know that you need to dive. You look to your right. You see the water. Usually, dive goes into water. You kind of want to dive onto
Mm-hmm.
Primo. Why don't you
Dive
give me
usually
a
goes in
wisdom
the water.
check? A wisdom check. I'm going to say DC the same as the original save, which was what was it? 13.
13.
13. If you can
13?
make this, you can dive on top of Primo. Otherwise, you are going off the side of the cliff.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, good call. Good call.
Tiny hands, don't fail me now. Oh, I rolled a 1.
Oh, unfortunately, the draw of the side is too big, and you dive. Will you please roll me an athletics check? Because I do think very reasonable
Yes.
choice here is to try and dive into the river and,
Yes.
and avoid the rocks. So go ahead and make me an athletics check, and let's see if you can actually dive into the water and miss the rocks.
Well, it actually I am somewhat inclined to hurt myself on the rocks if I may.
Okay.
I
all right,
would
you
prefer to do that
actively-
myself,
you would prefer to
given that
dive
I am
onto rocks.
raging.
Very good.
Yes,
That
given
keeps
that
your
I am
rage up.
raging.
All right. Then we won't roll.
Yes.
Then we won't roll.
Makes
to
me
save
angry.
yourself. You dive to the rocks here.
Okay.
That
You said
is
you weren't scared of those
20,
mushrooms.
30 feet plummeting to the ground. 30 feet there.
All right.
You will take.
36.
Now that's just they're adding a d6 per. We're not multiplying them or anything like that, are we? There's not
I
any
could merely
calculations.
take
We have.
8 points of bludgeoning damage, which is
So
half
I
due to
take
your rage.
4.
Ah,
Yes.
What?
It hurts so good.
You
like the
dive
it's like the main
roll,
elevator.
and land there on the ground. So that was.
They should bounce. They should bounce. The body should bounce another 10 feet to the west.
Ragdoll physics and D&D.
It's an elastic body.
As soon as
the insect plague into the water and both get stung to death and drowned and swept off the board. That's clearly what should really happen with any kind of reasonable ruling. That's how the real world would work.
Fortunately, you're not in charge of the rules here, as I mentioned.
Worst variety.
As soon as Kayam leaps into the air, the spell is fulfilled. The sense comes back to Kayam. He rolls. He lands in a nice 3-point land there on the stone right next to the side of the cliff.
Nice.
That unfortunately
Is that
was your
the
action
totality?
to dive. You have your move and your bonus action if you like.
I'm just gonna climb back up.
Very good. Roll me an
Still
athletics
frothy
check to
with
climb,
rage.
please.
All right.
Got that advantage from that potion.
And you do have advantage from the potion, correct?
All right. I already passed. Yes, I rolled a 17 and a 19, so we're good.
Very good. So, and as I said, it was 30 feet. So that's you still actually have 10 feet of movement as you reach back up to the top. Do you want to go anywhere?
Okay. Then I am going to go 10 feet towards the big bad who is standing up.
Very good. He's not standing up. He's laying down.
Oh, he's prone.
Laying down,
Yeah.
right in front
Oh,
he's
my
prone.
God.
There we
The
go.
big bad is
Hack
prone.
him. Oh, man.
I'm
Hiding
going to
behind the altar.
look down at him and say hello. Or I'm raging, so I was like, hello!
Any bonus action?
I can frenzy, can't I?
You are, in fact, already frenzied. You did declare it.
Yes, and I can use a bonus action to make an attack
You can do that.
when I'm frenzied. So I'm going to do that.
Very good.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to
Would
raise
you like to
a great axe.
both? And I will point out that at this point, both Primo and the High Priest are within reach.
Going with the high priest.
Very good. And it is at advantage then because he is laying prone before you.
Yes. High priest who is bleeding from the neck at this point. Is that this one?
He's
Slightly.
mortifying. Yeah, he's got a couple arrows in him.
All right. So that is let's see, either a 22 to hit. Yeah, 22 to hit him.
That is a hit.
Alrighty, so. And that is, where did my die go? Oh, that's 8 plus 6 is 14 damage.
Oh, my leg! Oh!
You slam
You've
your
cut through
axe.
part of his tunic, and you see that all down his leg, he's entirely tattooed on his legs with wormy tentacles all across his skin down there. That's now spurting blood all over the floor.
Nice. Yeah, it's gonna be like cool ink, bro. But
Cultists,
you
it's
appreciate
your turn.
some good tat.
And I still have
First aid
the insect plague. Am I right, Ref?
So you just took some damage. You only need to make a concentration check. What was the total damage there? It was below 10, right?
It was,
was
what
14.
was it? 14.
It was 14.
Yeah. So it's a DC 10
14 total.
concentration check, please.
I can do that. 20 is my roll. Easily still have it.
I hit him too
The
earlier.
insect plague is still there.
We must recapture the captive in order to complete the ritual sacrifice. The worm god demands it. And Sigilius, I've got eyes on Hadrad, right?
Yeah, he's just there below you on the cliff. You can lean over and look at him.
That's fine. I say the words of power, Exilium, with greater emphasis this time, and because I'm pretty sure this banishment is going to work and wipe him out of the plane of existence.
Oh,
This
God
must
damn it.
be-
Yeah, no, roll the
Yes.
Hadrad vanishes from the third plane of existence. Eric is still laying there, prone on the ground. Now, this does destroy the insect plague because banishment's also concentration.
Understood.
If we kill Eric, are we penalized for that?
One of your goals that you will gain points for is saving Eric.
Okay,
I mean,
thank you.
saving him from being sacrificed by killing him and mercifully? That sounds
That's a good.
like
That's a good.
same
Thank you.
thing. Yeah.
Go to sleep, Eric. Go to sleep.
It's better
Okay,
this
I
way.
believe it is still the cultist's turn.
It is.
Yeah,
And I believe Tertius and Quartus are back in action, yes?
that is true.
Great. So I want Tertius and Quartus and all my acolytes on the tour to get visibility on Kayam.
Let's see.
There's so many of them.
Use all your spells on me. Please.
Here. Okay. So they circle,
Excellent.
some circle around. Even Sextus here is getting up on top of the platform. They
Great.
They all have eyes. All of them have eyes
Great.
on Kaya. Now it's
And
surrounded
and Secundus takes out his mace and runs at Kayam with a mace. I'm rolling that right now. I rolled a 4. Okay, that's fine. That wasn't really an important part of the plan. But Tertius casts Command on Kayam.
Oh no.
It's a Wisdom DC 13.
All right. I rolled a 5.
Excellent. The command is fry.
Fry?
Like, make you some lunch?
Fry.
Oh, fly.
No, fry. Fry.
FRY.
F-R-Y.
Fry.
Fry is the command.
That is a very interesting command.
So spontaneously combust. You heard him.
Okay.
I'm
Curious.
I will. Okay. Well, we'll figure that out on Kayam's turn, I suppose. What other actions do you have?
So I'll just point out that there's a blazing fire directly below Kayam right at this moment. I know it's not on camera at this moment, but there's one single thing in sight that's on fire, and it's a giant brazier directly below Kayam. I don't know how else anybody's gonna fry anything at the moment, so I think I feel pretty good about that.
You want me to fry something? I can do that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty open to interpretation.
Action.
That seems very clear. I believe our viewers know there's one single thing on fire in the frame, and we know what's going to happen in any reasonable world. But you know what? Just in case I'm about to get screwed, everybody else cast Sacred Flame at Kayam.
All right. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, including the High Priest and Primo.
No, he cast Banishment.
Okay. Sorry. What about Primo, who's laying prone? I certainly see
Right. Not Sigilius, not Primo.
Very good.
Anybody
Not
else?
So 4.
Yeah,
so
so I
there are
think 3.
4. 4. We have
Great.
Tertius, Quartus, Quintus, and Sextus all
Great.
casting Sacred Flame at.
Great. So you're going to have to save against 3 Sacred Flames, Dex 13.
Okay. Dex? Okay, I believe I have advantage on things I can see coming at me that are Dex saves. So,
Danger sense.
yes, danger sense.
I
Okay.
admit that.
I sense danger. All right. Pass. Pass. And a pass. There we go.
Nimbly dodging
all
left
right.
and right as flame strikes
Wow.
fly at you from left and right. Any other action there from the cultists?
Primo intones the chant, Etiam sit amet consequet dolor, and he picks up the crystal goblet and he pulls out another squirming larva and he consumes it. Ah!
Very good. Anything else from the cultists? No. Very good. Phalard, is your turn.
All right. Let's see. I'm going to attempt to cast a guiding bolt on Primo. So that is with disadvantage. Remembering that I can add 10 to my attack rolls like I didn't last time. But I
Limited number
have
of
to, I
times,
can,
I believe, but yes, you can do that.
yeah, a limited number of times, but I can declare it after I know what the die roll is.
Correct.
So here we go, making my attack. Okay, so with disadvantage, 4 plus 6, that makes it 10, plus another 10 makes it 20 to hit with my guiding bolt on Primo.
That is a hit.
Yeah.
And then, so the next person to attack them has advantage, plus they take 5, 6, 11 radiant damage.
Excellent. No advantage to hit Primo, for he is now a corpse.
Yay.
Nice.
Hey.
Damn it!
He dies,
Very good.
still
Oh.
clutching the goblet to his chest there on the ground.
And with my movement, I'm going to move closer to where Turpin is.
Excellent.
Hello.
Circling around.
And then my bonus action, I am going to move my spiritual weapon to some point there on the path down from the highest tier. If I can reach an enemy, that'd be great. Nothing about spiritual weapon says I have to see them, which is weird. So I'd like a ruling on that.
I have ruled that you do have to see the target of the attack.
Okay, then I would like to place it somewhere on that path where I can still see it.
Okay. So it is actually exactly it is exactly 20 feet down the cliff from Secundus. So you could send it straight up, or you could wind it around the path this way that leads up the side of the.
I could either do that, or I could leave it right next to Eric, and then whoever. Well, it doesn't make attacks opportunity. I'm going to go up and have it attack the Segundus. That's an 18 to hit with 8 force damage.
Okay, I don't recall if Secundo had taken damage prior.
He had not. He's perfectly fine.
Well,
So he took.
perfectly
That was
fine
8,
is not
is that
exactly
here?
the word I would use, but yes, he seems all right.
Okay.
Is he the one who has the banishment on Pruitt?
Was that
Concentration there, maybe?
Yeah.
No.
Segilius.
Yeah, the
Segilius.
banishment
Oh,
spells are coming
yeah.
from the High Priest.
All right, that's the end of my turn.
Excellent. Hadrad is banished.
Yes.
Turpin.
Cool. So I'm going to use my bonus action to change my hunter's mark onto Secundus, and I'm going to shoot at him
Very good.
with my bow. Does a 22 hit him?
It does indeed.
It does. Okay. For a total of 13 damage.
Next, Secundo to the worm gun.
Oh. Wonderful. I will then change my hunter's mark back to Sigilius, and using Hordebreaker, and he was standing next to Sigilius, I will get that attack at disadvantage because he's prone.
Not standing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there still active sanctuaries going on here?
No.
He just didn't he
No.
attack someone?
But not Secundo. Oh wait, did Secundo attack someone? He did.
Yes, he did.
He did. Okay, very good. No, then there are no. Yep. Sorry. I knew Primo.
Okay. 16 misses. I'm pretty sure against Sigilius. Yes.
Correct.
Okay. I'm gonna go after him again.
Very good.
About 16. Okay. I rolled an at 20, but disadvantage. Stand up, you stupid idiot. Or stay prone and get
The
cut in
players were
half
giving
by the
me crap
barbarian.
for not standing up before, but now it's all where you see that I was several steps ahead of you.
Yes, you're about to get cut into many pieces by the barbarian. I just want the
it's
kill.
not.
That's why I'm saying it. I want the kill over.
Anything else from Turpin Bravebow?
No, I'm just gonna stand right here and do my thing, which is
I am.
bow.
Kayam, how do you fry? You must fry.
Oh, I'm gonna yell! Fried leeches, fried worms. That's one of my favorite breakfast snacks. Up to Kayam, because I
Yes.
believe there's a goblet full of them right next to you.
Jump in the brazier! Jump in the brazier! It's the obvious choice.
That's not what you said. I'm going to ask if this fulfills what is wanted. He's going to take out his tinderbox, which has an oil-soaked cloth, and he's going to try to put it on what's his face, the guy who's prone behind him,
Ilias.
and light him on fire. He's cooking him with oil. That's
okay.
frying.
I certainly the act of cooking is the first thing that came to my mind as well. What I will do
Yes.
is ask for a second wisdom check to see if you can manipulate in that such a way to try and fry your enemy, as opposed to say some food out of your pack.
Yes.
Go ahead and
I
give me
mean-
that wisdom check.
What?
All right. What did it say? I got a 9 to do that, but I will happily fry my
Okay.
rations.
So as your action, you remove some rations and your tinderbox, and you set up your mess kit like you're gonna have lunch, and you get to
Yes.
cooking. You start up cooking, and then you think, why am I doing this?
Why am I doing this? Is ridiculous. And then he's going to say,
You could have just
oh, my
jumped in the
bonus
brazier
action.
and it would have been much more efficient. I agree. Why are you doing that?
So unfortunately, that has
That's
consumed your action. You do have movement.
I'm
and
using my
bonus.
bonus action to be like, gosh, that was stupid. Let me murder some more.
Very good.
Yes.
Very good.
That was a nat 20. Right there. I got
Excellent.
it says yeet. Right there.
Yeet.
Yeet.
The frenzied blow,
Alright.
critical hits. Roll double the dice, please.
Non-standard
I
die ref. It didn't actually have 20. The rules don't say you get double damage from yeet. I'm looking right now. Do I see yeet
That doesn't
giving
look
double
like a
damage? I do
regulation
not.
book.
There's
That
nothing
doesn't
in
look
here.
like that. Yeah.
Non-standard die
That
doesn't count. Reroll.
Yeah, incorrect. Incorrect, Big Bad. That is incorrect.
It is yeet.
Shenanigans.
So,
Shenanigans.
30 damage to you.
Whoa!
30 points of damage as Kayam's axe comes plunging into the high priest.
Oh! Oh, my arm!
Still alive.
I am very badly injured. I think my arm is severed. You've severed my arm. You son of a bitch!
You're the one who put it there.
By the worm god for that.
Please make a DC 15 concentration check to maintain the banishment.
Oh.
12.
Hadrad reappears next to.
Damn it. This is a nail biter.
You're back, Hadrad. Any movement from Kayam?
I'm gonna stay right where I am. I'm
Excellent,
happy
very
where I am.
Very good.
Yes.
Cultists.
Sigilius casts Guardian of Faith on top of where Hadrad is.
A roiling black tentacle of pure evil energy appears in the ground next to Hadrad and immediately lashes out at him.
Excellent.
So, dexterity saving throw, please, from Hadrad.
16.
Ugh. I failed.
You take 20 points of radiant damage, Hadrad. The thing lashes out at you and explodes in a powerful energy.
I want the spiritual weapon to attack the elf. Do I get any kind of bonus on that? Do I get like a +1 bonus?
For what reason? No.
Because you know what? I think I actually forgot last return, so I think that I should get it. I should get an additional +1 to hit.
Nope. Failing to use your bonus action does not warrant it.
He's the rushing water is slippery, and he can't use his whole dexterity bonus.
Nope. I don't think he can anyway because he's in heavy armor.
I rolled a 17.
There we go.
So you narrowly avoided your doom this time. Narrowly avoided your doom this
That
time.
does use the bonus action. Of
I
the
faced my doom with fearlessness.
Further actions from the cultists.
I want the 2 cultists on the the west side. If you're not going to let me do it any other clever way, they're just going to bull rush Kayam and push him off the cliff.
Oh.
Not bad. That's not
Feel
bad.
free to.
So y'all guys, you want me to go back up? You want me to take him? I'm gonna
Keep running down. Keep going down.
Yeah, keep running.
Yeah.
Make a strength athletics check contested by the target strength athletics or dexterity acrobatics. Start with Perseus.
22 for the
one's a
first one.
16.
All right.
Okay, you get that one. I'll grant you got that one.
Cortus likewise rushes forward, trying to shove Kayam off the cliff.
25.
All right, you get that one. You get that one as well. All right, fine. Okay.
The meaty barbarian takes each of the shoves and just plants this.
Got like a
firmly.
Greek wrestling stance. It's just like he's all hips right now. All hips.
I want Quintus and Sextus. I direct Quintus and Sextus. I want them to get on the platform. Get on the far end of the platform. Make sure that they have good visibility for spellcasting on Kayam. Is anybody else back there? Or is that it?
Nope,
That's it, right?
That's it.
Okay. And they cast Sacred Flame on Kayam. So Kayam needs to make dexterity saves to avoid radiant damage. Dex 13.
That I have advantage on, okay.
Indeed, you have advantage on those as well.
All right. Danger. I got the first one critically, but it doesn't matter. I yeeted it. And the second one gets through.
Excellent. Yeah, you take 1 point.
Oh.
So it is Phalar's turn, actually.
All right. Okay. So right off the bat, so I don't forget, is my spiritual weapon next to Sigilius.
It is indeed.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So I'm going to make an attack against Sigilius with my spiritual weapon. So +6. That is a 22 to hit.
That hits.
7 force damage.
So Sigilius sees the axe coming in at him and goes, no, and shunk, and his head comes off.
Oh,
Points.
Okay.
So that was my bonus action. I'm going to use my action to cast Crusader's Mantle, giving Turpin an extra D4 radiant on damage
Excellent.
Oh.
for any weapon attacks.
I'm about to go crazy.
In fact, anybody
so-
within 30 feet of me will get that bonus.
Indeed.
Well, I haven't concentrated, but I am concentrating now.
And remaining where you are, I believe.
Yeah, I'm going to remain where I'm at. Yeah.
Hadrad.
Okay, so Hadrad on his turn, is it a whole action to pick him up? Or
Yes,
just part of
Yeah, I'm reading it as an action to lift him up.
All right. So in that case, I will do a key point for Step of the Wind and double move, which if his weight takes 20 feet off my total movement or per move action?
20 feet off of your total move, I think.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I agree with that, Ruff.
Yeah.
Okay, well in that case, so I'll move 70 feet.
Wait, tell me precisely where you are moving towards. Are you?
I'll pick him up from there, and then I'm going to move 70 feet in the most direct. I mean, to me, with my monk abilities and with these gloves of climbing and whatever, I'm just running down the side of this thing in a beeline towards the exit.
Towards okay, so in the direction of where Phalar and Turpin are.
No. I'm thinking more directly. See that brazier at the bottom?
This one?
Yeah, to the north. Yeah, that one. Yep. So towards that, and then across the creek right there. Keep going there. As far as my movement will take.
Am I right that point is wider? That point of the creek, the river is wider than it is up towards the falls. Am I right?
It's wider actually down here. So up here, as he comes this way, it's still only 10 feet. The important thing too being that scooping up Eric, you move away from the Guardian of Faith, so it does not affect him. Otherwise, it would have.
Yep.
You hop down 10 feet there, which again, you're just going to take the damage and use your slow fall, I presume.
Yep.
50 to get here. 60 to there. Then no, you Step of the Wind. So your total move is 90, and you've used 60. So you have 30 feet remaining. Go ahead and give me that athletics check to jump the river. And I'm going to say, actually, I'm going to impose disadvantage because you're carrying a person.
Yep. Great. That's the right call.
Seems fair.
Yeah.
So that leaves me with a 10.
A 10, unfortunately,
Awesome.
you leap
Awesome.
into
Awesome.
the water, hanging on to Eric.
Awesome.
It then sweeps you down immediately to be just across from Phalar. And I believe you have about 20 feet of movement left. I'll give you a dexterity saving throw to reach out and try and grab onto your friends as you come sweeping by.
This is at disadvantage but because of heavy encumbrance.
I do have these gloves of swimming, which give me an additional +5 to any check. So I'm at with my athletics a +10 to swim.
Okay. If you would prefer to just swim, ignoring your friends, not reaching out to grab them and just want to swim, I will take that athletics check to just swim and carry him to shore.
At disadvantage, am I right, Rev?
At advantage because he's got the gloves, so it would be a straight roll.
Just a straight roll?
Straight roll.
I rolled an 18 with +10 makes it a 28.
So that's another 15 a move, gets you right up here next to Turpin.
I have 5 you.
Here we go.
Are you
let's go on. I'm gonna go ahead and,
continuing to move towards the exit?
Yeah, I'm booking it. I'm not looking back at this point.
Great. I'm going to put you...
And I'm going to leave my compatriots and get the bounty myself.
It's typical Hellfist.
Great.
I revoke my
Never
high
trust the
five.
Hellfist.
So you're just there, and I'm going to put Eric next to you. So you're just there, you're climbing over these bits of stalagmites that are all that remains between you and the exit. Well done, Hadrad. Turpin Bravebow, it's your turn.
All right.
There you go.
We're going to go into time slows
This is
down
why
as
you
I
play a
finally
monk.
have targets that are standing up and not sanctuaried, and I can just go to town. And I get bonus damage from... So, Sigilius died. I'll use my bonus action to move my Hunter's Mark to one of the ones that's attacking Kayam, that's trying to push him over the edge.
Very good. Let's say that's Tertius.
Perfect. 22 versus armor class.
That is
So that's 12 damage. And then I will use
He's
Horde
dead.
Breaker. Okay.
And
I will
Tortoise-
still use
Tortoise
Horde
is
Breaker.
next to him, so you can still use Horde Breaker.
Yes, I will use Horde Breaker to attack him.
Is there any
The
kind of
1d4 is for
disadvantage for being in melee? Characters in melee, some kind of disadvantage or penalty because they're in melee with Kayam? Chance you'll hit Kayam?
No.
Firing into a
Disadvantage
melee.
Turpin himself were in melee.
This is 5th edition.
That's 3-5, bro. Yeah. The 1d4 is for every attack. Phalor, is it every attack gets the 1d4?
Yep.
All right, cool.
Yeah, as long as you're within
11.
30 feet of me.
Gotcha. 11 versus armor class. I assume it's
That
gonna
is
miss.
that's a miss, unfortunately.
All right,
Reaction.
that's
Who-
okay.
who you hitting at? I can give you plus 10 on a reaction. I think I might because I'll use it. This is my last channel divinity. Give him a plus 10
Very
using
good.
war gods. So,
Very good. It is now a
I
hit.
love it. All right, 12 damage.
He's dead.
That takes out Cordy.
He's dead too. Oh,
Dang.
do I have line of sight on the guys on top of the thing?
Had they not climbed up onto the platform, you might
Ho-ho.
not. But you do because they moved there.
What?
All right, wonderful.
Partial cover?
I will use my
Partial cover? He doesn't have. He can't see all of me.
They're well. In fact, I would say.
Listen.
the one
I
on
can
the
see
right
your
is
head.
well in
That's
view.
all I need to see.
that's all you need.
All right.
You're like that
So
guy
my
in
second
World War I.
attack. Oh no! I only rolled a 13. 13 to hit.
Sniper.
With cover, it's a miss. With
What?
cover, it's a miss.
But
There's
there is
cover
no
bonus,
cover.
right?
But there is no cover.
You're standing in the open.
Standing
Oh.
clearly in the open.
Their AC is 13. Their AC is 13.
Yeah. So that isn't
I
just a hit.
appreciate
Oh, wow.
the tenacity
All right.
with which Ilias
Oh,
attempts
yeah.
to bend
Hey,
things
this is
in favor.
competitive
Yeah.
D&D, all right?
Yeah.
You can
As
sway
you
the
can
DM.
see, hopefully, maybe in this shot, the line from Turpin to that headlight is free and clear.
All right, that's
I
another
think the viewers are going to
13,
know this is fun.
13 damage.
It's fine.
And that takes out Quintus.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness. I feel good. I
The
brought
fury,
her
of the, fury
to
of the Halfling
Yeah.
Ranger has been unleashed.
living up to my introduction. He is a murderer.
Nice.
And then I go, tee hee hee hee, I'm a halfling.
How many are left?
Just the one?
Just
Okay.
Sextus.
It's Sextus.
So
I am now the high priest. The cult is mine to command. Bow down before the priest, Sextus the Almighty.
just shut up, Sextus. I'm gonna saunter up, and there's gonna be like just some badass but like chill background music, just like boom.
Things have not changed very much
And-
since I became the high priest.
And he's gonna do a full on like Zack Snyder like time slows down thing while the bass drops. It's gonna be great. He's gonna recklessly attack this one. Yep.
It's the dubstep drums.
Well, shit, he missed that one. I rolled a 2 and a 4. But he's gonna.
He dodges easily.
But I've got another attack. And he's gonna try it again. He's just like, I was just getting warmed up. He's also gonna say, even though he's confused about it, he's gonna say, this is my first attack action this whole time. And- All right, so that is a 19 to hit him.
That hits.
Oh no. Yeah, that's a hit.
And let's see. 8 damage for that. See how that does.
Oh! Oh! Yes, I still live. I still live. The worm
Okay,
god.
well then I'm
the
going
worm
to
god
use my frenzied attack.
The worm god
Like, shh.
protects me. We can discuss. We can discuss.
It does an
Let us
18
negotiate. Yes, it does.
negotiate.
Negotiate with a
He's
frenzy
too frothy.
berserker.
I was going to say.
Violence never solves anything.
That's not the pillar of joy.
That's
we're
only,
focusing
I rolled minimum damage, but that's still 7 damage.
That is enough.
Man,
I'm gonna knock over one of those statues for good measure with the rest of my
Yeah, knock shit over.
desecrate the
Take this
altar.
worm god.
Smash that.
Yeah.
So, at this point, I presume, having done a victory dance, that Kayam makes his way back towards the entrance with his friends.
Yes.
I would
Yes, he
like.
does.
I would like to know how. How does Kayam do that?
Oh.
Kayam climbs down where he was before, and he attempts to hippity hoppity again. Yep. And I
Yeah,
can.
2 athletics checks to make it across the river.
It's a 22 and a yeet. So
Oh.
22 and a yeet.
What?
He dashes
Yeah.
across across the way.
The yeet is the technical term. Yes.
Excellent. Excellent.
Time's taking all our crits.
I rolled 1, but it was
The rep,
wrong.
is there a round in the middle where Kayam's on the southern island? Is there a round in the middle?
No, there is not. There is not.
Did he casually go across because he's confident, took his time to be safe, and took a round on the southern island? Is that what happened?
Pretty
Kayam, feel free to tell us if you took it casually and just...
I'm not. I'm a professional. I don't keep it cash while on the job. No.
Nice. Very good.
Respect.
Man.
Yeah, victory shot.
All right.
Yeah.
So having retrieved Eric, you make your way back through the exit, victorious. Well
If I
done,
can't secure
WebDM.
one,
Well done. Very professionally executed. So at this point, that wraps up the game, and
Yay.
what remains is for us to
Woo.
calculate your scores. Any prediction on how you think you did?
Million.
I think we did pretty well.
102%.
We killed all the
Yeah.
cultists. Nobody died, and we secured the guy. I mean, maybe somebody beat us on time, but
Yeah.
I think we
I
did
took
pretty well.
22 points of damage. That's it.
Right.
Man.
My feeling is our score is I'm proud of us. That's our score.
Yeah.
Yay!
Knocking the competition
Woo!
strongly out. A firm lead in first place from WebDM.
Damn.
Well done. Really well done.
Well done, guys.
I'd
Well
like
done.
to thank my hero, the Death Knight,
Yeah,
strength.
that's
to
nice.
do this today.
Well done. There is still one team to play, so the first position could be taken by them, but that is some steep competition for them to take down.
I am proud of us. That's
That was a
very
good
good.
time.
Feels good.
I love
Good for us.
D&D. Hell yeah.
This did not go the way that I expected today, and we correctly predicted before the show what their strategy would be. I implemented the perfect strategy to fend them off, frankly, and I just think that they got lucky with the die rolls not going my way. I'd taken a number of them off the map, so I think I did pretty well. But I'm really not entirely sure what happened to me today, because having such a small group with no spellcasters was it kind of blows one's mind that it's even possible. I'm going to be going back to this tape, and I'm going to be watching very carefully what the WebDM team did, so that next season, if they dare return, I will be prepared to crush them like a bug in season 2. But I kind of doubt that they dare to come back, frankly.
Yeah,
I think they were.
so bad
I think
first
they
time.
were a single hit. I think they were a one-hit wonder, and I'm not entirely sure. I'm going to have to go check the tape on this, Ref.
There's a lot of people that retire comfortably with a one-hit wonder.
It's true.
Go out on top.
Yep.
They looked good today. I'll grant you that. Today they looked very good. I'll grant them that.
I think that if I failed that first banishment check, this would have been a whole different
It would have
story.
been a very different game. Yeah.
Yeah, it could have been.
There were some key
It would have
rolls in
taken
that
a little
one.
longer.
Key rolls.
Slightly
I
longer.
like the prone usage, Big Bad. Respect. That really threw me off.
Very practical.
So,
Yeah.
good job
Yeah.
on
It
that
takes a
one.
lot of
Yeah.
courage to cower in fear.
All right. Well,
cool.
thank you so much, WebDM, for joining us and playing our game. Thanks again to Dwarven Forge for supplying the amazing terrain that we got to play on. And thank you for tuning in to our epic battle today. And we'll see you next time on The Big Bad.